Your identity is who you are. Your calling is why you're here. Your assignment is what you do. And the challenge there is don't find your identity in your assignment. Hey guys, it's Pastor Dustin. Thank you so much for checking out today's devotional. I hope and pray that it blesses you. I stream these devotionals live on Twitch every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, and then I upload them to YouTube the next day. If you'd ever like to join me live to be a part of the Devo, you can find more information about my stream in the description down below. Well, let's get into today's Devo. I hope it blesses you. All right, so tonight for our devotional time, wanted to share something out of one of the books of the Old Testament, a pretty cool story that we probably all know a lot of the characters from, but there's a really powerful story hidden in there, and it's from the book of Daniel. If you go to Daniel chapter 1, you'll see a few characters that you'll recognize, like one, Daniel, but also three people that we typically call Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. What happened is that the king Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, he captured a bunch of people, a bunch of the Jewish people, and brought them into his kingdom. And in verses 6 and 7, it says, among these were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And the chief of the eunuchs gave them names. Daniel he called Belteshazzar, Hananiah he called Shadrach, Mishael he called Meshach, and Azariah he called Abednego. Now, we've probably all heard those three names, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, from the story whenever they were tossed into the fiery furnace for not obeying the king's order to bow to the statue. But what I want to point out is that's not their names. That's what we always call them, but those weren't their names. Their names were Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. You say, Pastor Dustin, why does this matter? Why is this important at all? Well, it's very important for many reasons. Their names, especially back then, have very significant meaning. Their original names, their Hebrew names, this is what the four names meant. Daniel means God is my judge. Hananiah means Yah, or God, like Yahweh, Yah, has been gracious. Mishael is who is what God is. What a name. Who is what God is. Like, who is like our God? And Azariah is Yah has helped. So God is my judge. Yah has been gracious. Who is what God is, and Yah has helped. These are the names. These are their identities, as were given to them by their families. But whenever they were brought into the Babylonian kingdom, they were given new names. And look at the three names that we always call them by, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Here's what those names mean. Shadrach means command of Aku. That's the moon god in the Babylonian kingdom. Meshach means who is what Aku, or the moon god, is. A direct correlation to his original Hebrew name, Mishael, who is what God is. And it was changed to who is what Aku is. And Abednego means servant of Nebo, another god. So the first thing that this new kingdom, this Babylonian kingdom, did whenever they took them in is immediately tried to strip them of their identity in God. It took away their names, who they are. And that's what our culture tries to do to us so often. Our culture loves to try to redefine us and put labels on us. Especially now, everyone is all about their identity, their label, what you call them, what I'm known as. The culture loves to rename us. Say, you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, you're a dork, you're whatever, you're never going to make it, you're a loser. All these kind of things. Culture loves to try and rename us and tell us who we are. But our identity should be found in one thing, and that's in Christ. Our identity should be found in Christ, not in what we're, where we came from, not in even where we're going, not in what we're doing. I heard something pretty powerful one time that says, your identity is who you are. Your calling is why you're here. Your assignment is what you do. And the challenge there is don't find your identity in your assignment. So don't find your identity, who you are, in your assignment, which is what you do. So many of us have lost our identity. We have this identity crisis, not knowing who we really are. And just like the three Hebrew boys, Daniel, who went into this other kingdom and they tried to change their eating practices, which Daniel 1 talks a whole lot about, tried to change their names, tried to change their religious practice, tried to change everything about them. You and I, if we are in Christ, you are in a different culture. We are in this world, but we are not of this world. And our culture will try in every way that they can to label us, to rename us, to give us a different identity. But I challenge you today to stand on your identity, which is found in Christ. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away. Behold, new things have come," or all things have been made new. That's powerful. Or how about this one? Galatians 2:20, I've got it on the screen for you there. It says, "I've been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself up for me." See, guys, our identity should only be found in one thing, and that is in who Christ is and who Christ says that you are. And if you're born again, he calls you a son. He calls you a daughter. You are a co-heir with Christ. Rest in that truth and find your identity in Christ. And there's our Devo for tonight. I hope that blesses you. I hope that challenges you. Because, man, our culture would love nothing more than to convince you that you are not who God says you are.